Susan. Okay, and then I'm going to add you.
Thank you.
There you go. So you can share the screen. If it's not working, tell me. Okay, we are so excited today. And don't worry if you have people getting on. I'm going to be monitoring that, letting them in. It's recorded, so we'll get this out. I don't know. Sometimes I can't write as fast as my brain's thinking and all that good stuff. And sometimes when we're hearing guest speakers, that's really important to us. And Susan, I just want you to know how much we appreciate you taking time. And it's May. It's end of May, and I can't even believe end of May is here. And I don't know about the rest of you. I haven't had a school May in a couple years with COVID that I forgot how busy like kids in school in May is, like doing stuff. It's like every day is a graduation. But I hope you all, my hope is that you share this around the world. If you're part of different groups or Voxer groups or Facebook groups or whatever, everyone always asks if you're new, it is okay to share. We do this as a go give thing. And Susan, $1 million director here to share with us. And I know everybody's busy, but there's a different level of busy too, right? And so I just want you to know how much we're grateful. And I get the privilege of being on the top director at Trip Boxer with her. And so your heart is pure. And I love that, Susan. And I'm cheering your unit on this year. And I love that group because we pray for each other. And it's fun to be at the feet of giants, right? We love sharing our ideas. And it's just like Mary Kay always said, if I have an idea and you have an idea, we have two, right? If we give to each other. And so thank you again for just your go give spirit, the love and kindness that you show everyone. You're really, when I think of you, I think of grace. And I've had the privilege of watching you speak, and I'm just like, man, she literally is the image of grace. And so thank you for being who you are and giving as much as you give. And if you're okay, I know everybody can change their screen. If you don't know how to do that, we'll tell you, but are you okay if I spotlight you?
Sure.
I ask because some people that throws them and they don't want that happening. I always throw it, go in your right-hand corner if that freaks you out, and you can change it back to gallery view. So I just let you know that, but I'm going to let you take over, my friend. And I've got my pen and paper ready. I'm ready to learn it all from the best of the best.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, thank you so much for having me. And Jennifer Enlow, talk about a heart with grit and grace, man. I mean, putting this together every week and bringing such great speakers. And I was just noticing on the May flyer, 3 of the speakers are from Missouri. How about that? That's so awesome. So thank you for this, and thank you for bringing it to us and allowing us to share it. I vote Jennifer Enlow for Miss Go Give. Yes. So, and you guys can all vote too, by the way. You just go into In Touch, and underneath resources, you'll find it. So Jennifer, thank you for inviting me. I am honored and I am privileged to be here with all of you. And I just want to say, I hope there's something that I share today that can make your May not only marvelous and magnificent, but also momentum building into June. Because I think that May is that month. And right now, I want you guys just to take a deep breath. And I want you to repeat after me. It's only the 26th, right? I mean, say it with me. It's only the 26th. I don't know about you, but I've been like walking around all morning saying that to myself. It's only the 26th. And we have 6 days left. Now, I know some people would go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. No, I count today until today's over. So we have 6 days left, and it's only the 26th. And those of you that are on, I believe you're on because you have big goals and you have a big heart, and it's just time to share more of that. So I'm going to share with you guys something that I came about from my friend Laura Schmidt when we were, I think it was Laura Schmidt, but we were at Career Conference when I was earning my first free car. And that first free car, there's nothing like it, because it was like the first big tangible thing that the world saw. Okay, so it was like I was on target. I didn't want to fall off target, and I was like, gonna earn this car. But in my brain and in my heart and in my spirit, I was like, how's that going to happen? Because all I was thinking was, I need to get to this number. Back then it was 12. I had to get to 12 recruits. And I have been on and off target for that car a couple of times. 1, because I didn't know the rules. 2, because I did one party and no one signed, or one signed and nobody came in as an Emerald Star. And so I fell off target. And, I was just kind of at this place where I got rid of the headspace. I focused on the activity, but then I got into this place where I was like, oh my gosh, I need 5 more people. And so my friend Laura taught me this thing called the Circle Gold Medal Sheet. And if I was to name the topic of what I'm going to speak about, it would be called Time to Get My Ask in Gear. Okay. Yeah. Time to get my ask with a K in gear. So here's the thing. We know we want results, but we don't always ask enough people to get the kind of results that we're desiring. And then it leads to frustration, and then it leads to low confidence, and then it leads to doubt, and then it leads to a whole tailspin of other stuff. But if you can center yourself enough to get a hold of yourself emotionally enough to go, okay, what is it that I really, 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 really want? I want to grow my team. I want to grow my bookings, and I want to grow my sales. Okay. And so I'm going to screen share this with you because in the beginning, I literally drew on a sheet of paper these circles. And since then, I've gotten a little fancy, and my assistant made it into a really cute, picture. Okay. And I will give this to Jennifer, but you guys literally, this is what it looks like. So the deal is this. I do think that you need about 6 things in order to make this really work for you. So the number one thing is you need to be intentional and committed, like hard committed, like you let go of all results and you just say to yourself, I'm hard committed. Oh, sorry. All I'm going to do is focus on this sheet. Like I want to be intentional on my results, but I'm going to be even more intentional on the asking part of it. So that's the number one thing. The number two thing is that you use the sheet correctly. So let's look at it. At the bottom here, it says ask 35. So I double dog dare you within the next maybe hour or two that you would go through your PCP list. You would go through your hostess list. You would go through anybody that pops into your head that you're like, if I was to grow a table around my business of CEOs, who would I want to ask to join my team? Like pretend like you're Mary Kay Ash, asking yourself like, who would be my first 9 recruits? Like Mary Kay did that. She had 9 people that joined her. It's funny that we only hear about Daylene. Who knows what happened to the other 8? Same thing that happens to some of our team members probably sometimes, right? But I want you just to brainstorm a list of the sharpest, best, most highest caliber people that you know. And I want you to just put their name and their phone number. I mean, you might just know them through Facebook Messenger. That's okay too. However, you could just put FM for Facebook Messenger, but ask 35. So 35 names and numbers go at the bottom of people that you want to ask to listen to the Mary Kay story. Because I think that's a place we get mixed up in our head too, is we are like, I'm asking her to join my team. Well, yes, you are. But first you're asking her just to listen to the Mary Kay story. That's all we're doing. We're just going to have a little conversation, right? Well, what'll happen after you ask 35, and some of this, I'm going to speak in a language that I hope you know what this means, but some of it, you're going to have to run it through the 21-day booking cycle of asking, all through the 3 cycles of asking, but that's for another day. So just because you ask them today doesn't mean you're going to get an answer today. You might have to, skip Friday, Saturday, reach out again Sunday, skip, Monday, Tuesday, reach out again Wednesday. But in that cycle of asking, you're going to be able to ask 35 women to listen to the Mary Kay story. And I'm going to give you a script, so don't worry about that right now. You're going to interview 25 because you're going to have 10 that just flat out either say no or never get back to you. But I think with follow up and follow through of using that whole cycle of following up, you're going to have 25 people that say, yes, I can listen, right? You're only asking them for about 15 minutes. And from that, it's going to lead up here to the top to your 5 team members, which is your gold medal. Now, what do you ask? What do you say when you're asking them? Okay, well, I think number 1, you're intentional and your heart committed to this process. Number 2, you're going to make a list of 35 people. Number 3, you got to ask them, right? And what I think you need when you're asking is you have got to be excited, and you don't even have to use your voice necessarily. I do think you can create a text that has excitement if you add some emojis and smiley faces in there, right? So I'm going to give that to you here in a second. But you're asking them to listen. You are making sure that in your script that you are sharing your goal, what's in it for them, and the deadline. Okay, so I'm going to share with you, and you don't have to write this down because I'm also going to, I think I'm going to put it in the chat. Hang on real quick here. And you could use any script, but this is one that I made up that I like. And it basically says this, and I've got it up here too. It looks like this. Oops, hang on. Okay, it looks like this. Hi, exclamation point. I'm so excited. I'm moving into a new leadership role, or state your goal, right? Or earning the use of my Mary Kay car, or I don't think if you say red jacket, they really get that. But you could just say, I'm getting a promotion or I'm moving into a new leadership role this month. And I've been challenged to practice sharing the Mary Kay story with 5 people a day through the end of the month. And I'm a little behind, because if you haven't been doing this, you're a little behind. And don't worry, because this really works. So what you're saying is, I'm giving blank for anyone who has 15 minutes or so to help me out in the next couple of days. Are you by chance free real quick now or later? Okay, so you've got the excitement right here, right? You've got the goal right here, right? You've got what you need. You've got your deadline, and you've got your incentive in here, your incentive, and then you've got your deadline. Now, what's your incentive? It could be whatever you want. You know, when I really need something to happen, I'm going to give away something for free. So you might go, I'm a DIQ. I'm going to do a listen for a lip gloss, right? Who wouldn't listen for 15 minutes for I don't know how much is lip gloss, $16, right? That's like, they're getting paid more than $1 a minute for listening. But basically, if like, you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to give away that much product, give away a half price item. A half price item is nothing. It's like giving away a full size sample for free, because you charge them the half price and the retail tax. So yeah, that's a good one. If you've got some leftover stuff you want to give away, just say, I've got a grab bag of free stuff that I'm going to give away. I mean, it could be whatever you want. Don't get tied up on that. Now here's the part when you ask, do you by chance, are you by chance free real quick now or later? What happens with that is, if you message me and ask me if I can help you out with something, and I know in the next 15 minutes I have nothing really going on that I can't put on hold, I'm going to say now. So your high D people are going to be like, yeah, call me. You know what I mean? Because they know what they're doing right now, and they may not be able to help you out later, or they might be going out of town for the Memorial Day weekend or whatever. There's a lot of people that are going to be home and have more time than ever over Memorial Day weekend. So don't worry about that either. Sometimes we let that hold us back. If they're out of town or they're busy, guess what? There's still Tuesday. There's still tomorrow. There's still today. Because if you count today and you share with 5 people a day, guess what? You even have a bonus day, because remember, it's only the 26th, then we have 6 whole days. Okay. So I'm going to stop screen sharing here for just a quick second. I want to move into, so we've got being intentional and heart committed. That's the number 1 thing that will get you through the whole thing, I promise. 2 is making your list. 3 is asking 35 to listen. Okay. 4 is, oh my gosh, she said yes, she'll listen. Now what do I do? Okay. I don't care if you've actually done this training with your director or not, because this, what I'm going to share with you next, was actually created to be done by anybody, even if you were brand spanking new and you didn't know anything. And this is on InTouch. It's under education, and then I think it's under team building. So here's the thing. This sheet, it's this simple. When you are having them listen, you set your timer and you're being very respectful of the 15 minutes that they said they could do for you. And you spend about maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3, sharing this sheet. And literally, you don't need to give them this sheet of paper. You can conversationally share this sheet of paper. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Like, let's say you're like, hey, thank you so much for listening. I want to share with you 4 quick things about Mary Kay, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. And that's going to give me training on how to answer a question about the company, about the Mary Kay story. So the first thing I want to tell you is that Mary Kay is something that can fit into your life. Isn't that great that it's a flexible opportunity that can work for you? You can make a little extra money on the side while working your business, or as much as or as little as you want. At the heart of every Mary Kay opportunity are the fun and the freedom and the flexibility. You can literally balance the important things in your life, and you can put them first while still running your own successful Mary Kay business. You're the one who gets to choose how much time you put in and how much you want to be involved. But guess what? No matter what, you earn 50% profit on everything you sell at suggested retail. And basically what I remember thinking is, I can look twice as good at half the price. So that's a great deal right there. Okay. And then I'm not going to spend the rest of the time going on to that, but you would go on to number 2 and number 3. So you don't like read it, but you can conversationally read it. By the time you get to your 25th share, you're going to know it by heart, girls. But basically, you're going to use the sheet. That's the 4th thing. And then you're going to use, that's going to take you about 2 or 3 minutes. And then you're going to use the rest of the time to say, what questions would you need me to answer to know if there'd be anything that you'd consider for yourself? And if she goes, I don't know, I don't have any, don't stop there. Say something like, well, what was your favorite thing that you got to hear about? And she'll tell you. And then you could ask another question like, well, what, if anything, would give somebody that was interested in maybe hearing a little bit more, what would you need to know from here? And then you want to get to this part here. This is number 5, and you want to ask this question. Now, when I say this, I say something like, training aside, thank you for the awesome questions that you asked, but training aside, I do never want to leave somebody without knowing what their interest level might be, because I don't want to miss somebody, but I don't want to misinterpret anything either. Because, sometimes people have a lot of questions and you're like, oh, she's interested, but maybe she's not. Other times they have no questions and they really are interested, but you don't know. And so you want to find out if she's an A, B, or C. But I ask them if they are a C, B, or an A. I don't know about you guys, but like in school, didn't you always want to get an A? Don't you always want to be the A? And you want to always leave that letter for the last one. So you want to say, here's the deal. Just to know if this is anything you'd ever consider for you. A C means it could be for you down the road, but until then, I just want to be a customer. A B means, not necessarily for me, but I need to think about it. But in the meantime, book me for a second appointment or an opportunity where I might have some questions and I'd love to talk a little bit more. Or an A is absolutely, I'm interested. And with your help, I'm willing to give it a try. And find out where she is, A, B, or C. And here's what it comes down to next. And this is the 6th thing and the final thing is that she's going to either do one of 3 things. She's going to be an A and she's going to sign up. Or guess what? She's going to be a B and she's going to book a party. Or she's going to be a C and she can place an order. And I can promise you guys this, in the last 6 days of the May month of 2022, you are going to be thrilled if she joins your team and or if she books a party and or the consolation prize is she places an order. And I think just leaving it there and finding out where they are and knowing what to do next. I mean, if she's an A, the conversation is, I'm so excited. I'll be sending you the link and you can join my team today. I can't wait to recognize you as my newest team member and help you get your business started and making money right away. If she's a B, it's, hey, you know what? Would you rather do something through a virtual posting party or maybe through a Zoom party or however you're doing your parties? I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do that. Or if she's a C and she says she just wants to be a customer, ask her, along with her half price item, is there anything else she needs to keep her gorgeous? And you might have some extra orders come in there for the month of May as well. So that is just a nutshell of kind of how I use that Circle Gold Medal sheet. You could use it literally every single month. You could use it in these next 6 days and try it out. But what I think that this sheet will do for you is it's going to make your May magnificent and marvelous, but it's also going to spill directly into not only results by the end of this month, but into the month of June. And that's where you take that momentum and you keep it multiplying into the new month. So I'm going to stop talking and just kind of answer any questions that you guys might have.
I love that. I don't know about you all. I love simple. I love simplicity in life. And I think sometimes the thing I take away, and I love sharing. I mean, I always do natural core recruiting, but I don't know. Do you ever sometimes get in your own head and you think you're overcomplicating things? So I appreciate how simple that is.
Do I go over the starter kit cost? Yes. Hang on real quick here. Let me make that bigger. Yes, definitely. Sorry. Before I go over the CBA, I will go over what that looks like to get started and kind of say training aside. Thank you for that, Jean. And then the questions from number 4.
I wonder if she's talking about like where you said 1 through 6. Is that what she means?
Yes. So
Okay.
like when she said yes, now what? And then you gave us like sort of questions to ask her what she thought about what you just presented to her.
Okay.
Like how to get her answering or asking questions.
So like if she is not asking you questions, because that's where a lot of that comes in. And by the way, you could do this in a group setting on a Zoom too. So if you've got like 5 people and they're all 5 like, yeah, I'll listen, just ask them if they can be on a Zoom together, because a lot of times one question feeds into another question and you've got a group of people. I would just say if you do it on Zoom, to be very conscious of the time and say, like if you say 15 minutes, after 15 minutes, you've got to let them go and invite them to stay on if they want to. But if there's no questions, I like to just ask them questions like, what was your favorite thing to hear about? What would you say would interest you the most about Mary Kay if you were to ever give it a shot? What, if anything, would ever hold you back? Those are some good questions. So I think sometimes when you ask them a question, it might spark a question in them along the way.
Thank you.
Bridget, do you recommend the starter kit over $30? I personally love the $30 e-start kit. I mean, if we get rid of it, I don't know what I'll do, but I know it expires December 31st, but we're working on that. I love the $30 e-start kit. I personally, my business model is I'm 100% virtual. If you want to do something in person, you'll come to my house, but not everybody feels that way. So I just let them know that they have to do the 30 to become a new consultant. The $45 kit's just a great sampler kit of awesome. It's an awesome steal of a deal on samples. The $100 kit, they could always get that later. I mean, really, they could get that later when every director has the opportunity to order one of those on their director order form. So we could always order them one of those and ship that to them later. So the main thing I think is just getting started.
Wow, this was so good. Does anybody else have questions or anything you want to share with Susan, maybe to affirm her with her time and her go give heart?
I do. This is Leanne, and hi, Susan. I'm not all Mary Kay.
I'm trying to find you. Hey, Leanne. Yes, I am.
Oh, I love you and I miss you. And I'm just so excited for you being $1 million director. And I wouldn't have missed this for the world. And, I love you. You've always been so, I love the simplicity, and you make it really, really easy in that way. There were some questions that I think my girl Carrie was asking, which was, once you've shared that sheet, it was, what questions would you need to know to, can you think of that last line?
What questions would you need to know to make a yes decision?
To make a yes decision. Okay, got it. And then you said another thing, because I'm using these words. If $1 Million Director Susan McCoy says these things, guess what? I'm going to say these things. And if they say no, they're saying no to Susan McCoy. Okay. So, right. That's what I learned from Gloria Mayfield Banks. Like, listen to everything. And if they say no, right, they're saying no to Gloria. They say no to Susan. Right. So training aside, because you're like, training aside, you said something like, I never want to miss anyone. And then you said like something else to move into the CBA.
Yeah, I just say training aside, because you're asking them to listen, really, you're asking them to listen to the Mary Kay story and for you to practice sharing it. Because I can promise you guys, I want to know how many of you have literally been using the sheet by yourself already? Okay, so a lot of people have, but a lot of people haven't. And so you do, unless you can recite the sheet. I can't even recite the sheet, and I've used it a lot. So until I can, that means I need more practice. That's my thought. What you want to do though is get to the end of it, and you do need to say, okay, now training aside, this is where I forgot who asked the question, but you could say, training aside, I do want to let you know. And you could say it like this: I do want to let you know so that if anyone you ever knew was interested, you could tell them that they could literally start a Mary Kay business for the $30 e-start kit. There is a $45 sampler kit, and then there's the $100 here. But I would love to kind of find out your own personal interest level. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to ask you on a scale of ABC. So a C would be blah, blah, blah. A D would be
that's what it was. It was, I would love to know your own personal interest level. That I think that it's, for me, it's what are we saying? For me, I am like the dialogue person, because once you know what to say, you're going to get the answers that we need to
Absolutely.
move forward in one way or another. That's why I'm like, I'm going to write down every single thing, because sometimes even as a top director, I get stumped where you're like, we went through this whole thing and they're not saying a word. They're not saying anything. And we need to be able to respond in some way and say, well, gosh, what questions do you need to know? What would you want to know if you were to ever decide on something like this, just to get them talking?
Absolutely.
So these are great questions, McCoy.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
you're welcome. Well, and another thing too, is once the person says, yeah, I can listen for 15 minutes, you might even coach them ahead of time to say, well, I'm going to share 4 quick things about Mary Kay. If you could ahead of time think of maybe 2 to 5 questions that somebody would want to know about the company if they were going to ever join, that way I can, and I don't want to know what they are ahead of time. You can say, I want to just be able to practice being on the spot and having to answer. And you can say, if you're like, I don't even know if I know what to say, then you can say, I'm not sure I can answer them, but if I can't, I'll find out the answers. And that's part of my training too. Okay. And you guys, the reason why I think sharing the Mary Kay story is so important is because there are a lot of women out there that we think they know about Mary Kay, but they have no idea. I would have been that girl. If you would have said, would you sell Mary Kay? Nope. I am teaching full time. I'm going back to school to get my master's. That's where I was when I started. I thought Mary Kay meant you drove a pink Cadillac and you did it full time. I didn't know you could start for $100. I would have thought it was like $100,000, so I had no idea. And I would have been the girl saying no, but I would have been basing it on what I thought was Mary Kay. So learning about this, hearing the Mary Kay story, I was all in. I mean, I went to an event on a Tuesday and I became a consultant on a Friday. I just needed some information.
Most people do.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think sometimes, like I said, we're making it too hard. This was amazing. Don't you all love simple things to lead you into a fabulous seminar year end, and to know that you have the tools at your fingertips to make anything you desire happen? And I love that. I'm like Leanne, I love having strategy and knowing what to say and what to do. And it just seems simpler, right? We don't emotionally get too involved where it shuts us down. We're just like, just do this checklist. Let's go. Thank you, ladies, for everyone being on. These were great questions. Some things I didn't think about asking. So prove Susan's point of what she was saying to get them talking. They'll help each other. So thank you, ladies. I hope you have an amazing Thursday.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you were
A magnificent momentum building May. Bye, guys.
Yes.
Happy May. Thank you.
Bye, ladies. Have a great day.